Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Near Cinema 2, and today we're going to be going over the best way to start a city here within City Skylines. I play this game quite a bit, and whenever I see new players getting into it, they always find themselves being overwhelmed at the very beginning. They oftentimes overspend, they overextend, they have their citizens all moving out, and they realize that they've ruined their city before it even started. Today we're going to go over how to not have that happen, how to just simply set up your city right from the very beginning, and basically put you on the best road to success when starting out City Skylines as a beginner. Let's get started. Now keep in mind, you're not going to need any fancy mods or DLC for this to work, you just need to have a basic understanding of how cities function here within City Skylines. Basically, every city needs just a couple of things. It needs power, it needs water, it needs roads, it needs you to manage your money as well. We start off with $70,000 here in the base game, and from here, just don't go crazy. Your initial starting square is pretty large. Oftentimes, new players want to fill the entire thing right away. That's a bad idea. Start off small. It's going to work out better if you play the slow game as compared to trying to go too fast too quickly. So here we're just going to make a basic square. It doesn't really matter what shape you do right away. It really doesn't. Just do literally whatever it is you want to do. And now from here, one tip I can give you is pay attention when you're building your roads if you're doing a square. As you can see from the blue line, we'll zoom in here a little bit further. That blue line indicates what you can zone. So when you're making your roads, try to make it so that blue line is perfectly lined up with the other zoning areas. That way you're not wasting any space whatsoever, and you can just fill this up very nicely and just have so much space to do all sorts of different things. Now from here, we have our roads set up, right? I'm not gonna go too crazy with this beginner's tutorial. We have our roads set up. There's a way in, there's a way out. It works perfectly, right? So from here, we're gonna need power. I like to start things off with the wind turbine because the coal power plants create a lot of pollution as well as noise pollution. It's really bad for your citizens. They don't like to live near that kind of stuff. If it's polluted and if it's loud, they get unhappy, and unhappy people end up moving away. So start off with a wind turbine. If we go here to the top left, you can click on this little windsock, and it's going to indicate to you that basically the bluer the area, the more wind there is, therefore the more the turbine's moving and the more electricity it's producing. So basically just put down 2 turbines in a nice blue area like that, and you'll be good. Next up, we're going to go ahead and move over here to water, sewage, and heating. We need basically 2 things here. We need water to go to the city, and we need a place for our sewage to go away from the city. Now, if you live near a river, it's pretty simple. You just hit the water pumping station, and once you click on that, there's going to be these arrows indicating which way the river is going. Keep in mind, you want your water pumping station to be upstream from your sewage station, right? Because if we put the sewage station here and then put our water here, well, that sewage is going to go out into the river, and then it's going to go right down here to where we're intaking the water, and then take that polluted water back to your citizens and make everyone sick and die and move away. It's a terrible idea. So make sure your water pumping station is upstream, and then make your sewage station downstream. It's really that simple. And then from there, we're going to go to water pipes. You have to actually put down water pipes in your city. So connect your sewage to your water station. Then from the water station, extend your pipes out to cover the entirety of the city. Now, don't go too crazy with it right away. I mean, make sure everything is covered in blue. You need that. You need to make sure all your citizens actually have access to water and sewage, but don't go too crazy right away. We want to save as much money as we can. We want to have about $15,000 indicated down here by the bank balance. You want to have about $15,000 to your name when you actually start the game up once you have your infrastructure in place. Make sure your pipes are all actually connected. You don't have to connect them like crazy, like over here. We don't have to connect these. Just make sure they're connected at least one way, and then you're good. Now from here, we're going back to power, and we're going to need to take these power lines to move power from the wind turbines over here to the sewage system. And then, of course, the water drain pipe needs to have power as well. And then from there, we're just going to bring a little bit of power over to here. Now, the reason why we're going to be doing it this way is now we're going to be zoning. We're going to start off very slowly. Of course, you have all these different tools for how you want to zone things. So we're going to zone some residential. We're going to zone it just right here, right? Just a little bit of residential here and a little bit of residential here. And now we're going to press play on our city, and then we can also accelerate time to ×2 just to make things go a little bit faster for the sake of the tutorial. I don't understand why every City Skylines tutorial on YouTube has to be like 45 minutes long. But after a little bit of time, we'll even put this up to ×3 speed, our citizens are going to start moving in. one thing people don't know when they first start is power jumps from building to building. So we have this one power point right here. So long as we slowly build our zones out from this area, power is just going to jump from building to building, and we don't need to put a bunch of power lines absolutely everywhere. So there you go. Right there we have our first citizens that have moved in, and now we can slowly expand out, just zone out a little bit more for residential, just like that. Keep in mind we have 21,000, and we are losing money, but don't worry about that. That's why we save a little bit of money at the beginning, because when you first start, you're going to be losing money. If you lose too much money, your city goes bankrupt, and nobody wants that. So here we have even more. Very nice, very nice. Now we're going to add a little bit of commercial, so these citizens have places to shop. We'll just put those like right here. Nice and easy, there you go. And then from there, just slowly but surely, continue to zone out your city however you see fit. There are more optimal ways to go about it, but just do whatever makes you happy when it comes to zoning out your city. Like right here, we're going to put a little bit more commercial in there. We're going to have some more residential. But right now, as you can see here on the bottom, we have a high demand for industry. Right, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to zone out some industry over here. Industry is important. It does cause a bit of pollution, which is unfortunate because citizens don't like to live near that, but you need industry for your citizens to work at, as well as industry provides products to your commercial areas. Your commercial businesses cannot sell products that don't exist, so you need to have this. We overextended a little bit right here, but that's okay. You can just simply take a little bit of a power line, connect that there outside of the zoning areas, and now they have power. Then slowly over time, these other areas are going to get filled as more and more things eventually come to the city. From here, we can just extend out our industry just a little bit. We can maybe make this entire area up here our industrial area, and there you go. It's basically as simple as that. Once you get enough industry going and then enough residential and everything, eventually your city is going to start running itself, which is basically the entire point of the early game. The early game, you want to start off small, just like this, right? You want to start off very small, have these businesses and stuff start to slowly fill up, trying to have too many power lines going absolutely everywhere and wasting your money that way. And then eventually, as we're on ×3 speed here, your city is going to slowly but surely start to build up. Just keep an eye down here for what kind of industry or what kind of needs you have, whether it's industry or residential or commercial. Just keep an eye on that and do what your citizens say. If they need more areas to build their homes, give them more areas. If they need more businesses, lay out more zone for more businesses. If they need more industry, lay out more zone for industry. It's pretty much that simple. Try to plan your city out if you would like to, like maybe have this entire area over here be your industrial area. This can be more of your residential area. Over here, maybe you can put some other fun stuff later on as you build more streets, but you don't want to build too many streets right away. You try to avoid that because oftentimes people overextend and then they're losing a bunch of money right away and things are going poorly for them. As you can see right here, we have demand for both industry as well as residential. So, okay, let's give them room for more industry as well as residential. We'll put some residential here. I'm just using the big zoning tool here because it's a quick tutorial. I'm not trying to go too crazy with it. And we're going to have a little bit more industry over here to start so that the power jumps from building to building. And now those are built. We're going to build this down here. Nice and simple. And as you guys can see, we're now making money. Our weekly income is now in the green as compared to the red. And that's basically all you need to initially start your city. From here, just do whatever you want to do. Once you have a little bit of money, don't overextend too quick. Once you have a little bit more money, start zoning out some more roads. Right? Once you get more population to your city and you start getting things like your healthcare systems and your emergency services and your police departments and your education and stuff like that, start placing down schools, start putting down fire departments and police stations and stuff like that. But when it comes to the early game, this is all you have to do. You only have to do exactly what I did. It doesn't have to be a square. It doesn't have to be built exactly like this, but just use the same principles that I outlined here in this video. It's really that simple. And also, just as a little bit of a caveat, if you are someone who doesn't have a river in your area, then it's pretty simple. You use a water tower and you use the inland water treatment plant instead of using the water pumping station and the water drain pipe. But most areas within City Skylines, especially the base game, are going to have access to a river. And yeah, and eventually you're going to notice from the sewage that the river is going to become polluted, but you can fix that later once you unlock more things. But there you go, guys. Very simple. Just keep an eye on down here, see what your citizens want, see what your citizens actually need, zone out more based on what they actually need, and that's going to get your city going. They want more residential? Sure, here's more room for residential. Here, we'll zone out some more residential, and more people are going to start moving in. And then before you know it, your city is going to start looking pretty nice. So there you have it, guys. Not every single City Skylines tutorial has to be 45 minutes long. This was just a short little one giving you guys an outline as to how I like to start my cities, because it's a very nice way to go about things. One other thing you can also do as well, and here we go, we have a population of 440. Now we have access to garbage, healthcare, and everything else. One thing you're going to learn as you go is there's so many different ways to actually optimize your city. So one-way roads, for example. If this is going to be a one-way road leaving your city, click on the one-way road, click on upgrade, and then just upgrade this to become a one-way road, right? So that way, when people go on there, they can only go out of the city as compared to going back in. And when people are entering your city, just make this a one-way road as well. It helps out with your traffic, right? And then just build like a one-way road up to there. And then at this intersection, maybe, if we go back to a straight road here, then maybe have that go across, have it stop being a one-way, right? It's really that simple. There's so much you can do, so many different ways to customize your city. It's a very fun and addicting game, and then once you get to where I am with my Twitch streams where your city looks like this, things can get kind of insane, and it's super fun, and it's super engaging, and super entertaining, and you're going to find yourself realizing that this is one of those, oh, just 5 more minutes, oh, I'll just play for 5 more minutes kind of games, and then you keep playing and playing and playing because it's super addicting and super fun. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, consider leaving the video a like. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.